going to take you on a journey into Australia's most amazing environments, so we can experience together wildlife encounters that will leave you breathless. A journey into wild Australia. Our first animal encounter will be with an ancient predator of the deep. Now we've come here to these beautiful kelp-covered reefs on the south coast of New South Wales because this is the home to the Wobbegong shark, arguably the fastest ambushing shark in the ocean. Now I've got the jaws of a juvenile shark, a shark around 1.2 metres long. And you can see that these rows of needle-sharp teeth all face backwards. So when these sharks snap onto their prey, it's impossible for the fish to escape. The sharks here on these reefs are up around 2 metres long, twice as big as this guy. So when I hand feed these sharks, I've got to be very careful that I don't get my hand inside those lethal jaws. I've had the privilege to study most species of sharks in my life. From filming and hand-feeding bull sharks, I learned about territorial behaviour and body language. From riding on the back of oceanic sharks, I learnt that sharks are often misunderstood and they're not the monsters most people believe they are. To attract and hand feed Wobbegong sharks, we need some fresh bait. Spearfishing is a great way for me to only take the species of fish that these sharks prefer to eat. Silver trumpeter and red morwong are plentiful on the reefs that are only 20 and 30 metres deep. Wobbegong sharks have unusual markings that camouflage and disguise the shark's outline. Fish are often unaware of the danger and swim too close. We've found a large shark in a cave. Hopefully, the smell of the fresh fish will lure him out of hiding. Wobbegong sharks are the masters of ambush, taking fish with lightning-fast, snapping jaws. you a good look at the size of these sharks, I will attempt to drag him upwards for the cameras. With rows of backward-facing teeth, he will easily win this dangerous tug-of-war. An exceptionally large wobbegong arrives, one of the largest ones I have ever seen. He snaps onto the fish. Again, I drag the shark upwards. I'm completely hidden behind his broad head. It will take more than one fish to satisfy this monster. Sadly, these magnificent sharks are not protected, and overfishing can cause local extinction on some reefs. Our quest to explore Australia continues with a dive on a pristine reef. At 20 metres, the vibrations of our bubbles attract an endangered species of shark, the sand tiger or grey nurse. The counter-shading of dark backs and white bellies allows the sharks to become ghost-like in the poor visibility. Again and again, they swim to inspect us, curious but not aggressive. We follow them into deep water and swim into a sponge garden. Sponges filter enormous volumes of water for tiny planktonic food. The toxic chemicals in their tissues stops predation by most fish. A bright red sea dragon lives here. He uses his long snout to suck up minute shrimp. Tiny, delicate fins propel him on his never-ending search for food. Juvenile catfish huddle together for protection, forming a swirling mass of stripes and venomous spines. Not a very attractive combination for hungry predators. In a crevice, we find a giant cuttlefish, strange cousins to the octopus and squid. These animals can flash different colour patterns by using chromatophores in their skin. This amazing ability allows these animals to camouflage themselves and ambush prey or hide from sharks. Holding a giant cuttlefish can be dangerous. The powerful tentacles can drag a diver's hand into the sharp beak, and fingers can be bitten off. But over the years I've learnt how to calm these creatures. Humpback whales migrate past these offshore islands every year. Their presence adds some magic to our journey. Now, an animal that has always fascinated me is the bull stingray. But sadly, these creatures are in decline because many stingrays die in fishing nets. Now, for me to show you the power and size of the bull stingray, we're going to have to lure these animals into the shallow water by using baits. Now, what we're about to attempt is extremely dangerous. Bull stingrays can weigh in excess of 300 kilograms. Their wide pectoral fins have evolved to allow them to glide over the seabed. Using their amazing senses of vibration and smell, stingrays have no problem finding everything from prawns to flounder under the sand. What I'm doing here is I'm hand feeding a bull stingray. That tail is armed with 1 or 2 barbs, and they can drive those very sharp barbs through the hide of the toughest shark. So I've got to be very careful of that tail. They're used to coming into shallow water, but if he feels threatened, then he'll strike with that tail. Those barbs, not only sharp, and about as long as a bayonet. Look at the size of him. He's a big boy, this one. You've got to be very careful with this one. But these rays mostly use their wonderful sense of smell to find prey. Look at this beautiful specimen. Whoa, see him whip the tail? That means I've had enough. He's telling me very clearly, back off. Now we continue our Australian adventure and travel to a region of flooded plains in outback New South Wales. Macquarie Marshes is a paradise for birds and some venomous snakes. Oh, look at this. Hello, darling. Look at you. Oh, this is such a good find. This is a very big red-bellied black snake. Look at this gorgeous creature. Look at you, aren't you magnificent? What? I've got to be careful because one this size will deliver lethal venom to humans. In fact, one this big could even be fatal. So I have to be very, very careful of this one. These big snakes, they love to hunt this country here, like the Macquarie Marshes, because they prey upon the frogs, and they're very good at that. They'll also take little birds, especially little chicks in the reeds behind me. Come on, out you come. Look at that. And you can see how they get their name. Look at that lovely red tummy. Look at the red tummy. Red belly black. These snakes in northern Australia are becoming extinct because they often feed on the cane toads, which are toxic, and they've got no immunity to the toxic venom that's in the cane toad. But down here in the marshes, there's no cane toads. Whoa, a little bit stroppy. I'll be very careful picking up big dangerous snakes like this one. Look at you. You can see how dark they are on top, and of course they can soak up the sun early in the morning to warm up. Hello, darling, you're beautiful. Whoa, don't have a go at me. Don't have a go. Come on. I've got a family. You can't take me out, mate. Be gentle. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. We might let him go, eh? What a beautiful big snake. Off you go. Travelling further westward, the countryside changes to open grasslands. Kangaroo country. But this poor roo has become lodged in a fence. I'm going to have to drag it back to free it out of the wire. The only problem is a big male kangaroo can really tear me up, so this is a dangerous rescue. Yeah, we'll do the best we can. We move away, boys. Move away. Woodlands died here after years of severe drought, but dead trees make a perfect home for little dragons. You know, when I was a kid, I used to love to hear stories about dragons. Now, I've been exploring this old floodplain and I managed to find this little bearded dragon on this dead tree. They get their name from the flaps of skin under their bottom jaw, and they can inflate those to make themselves look bigger than they really are, to frighten away predators. These animals have excellent eyesight, and they can spot little things like grasshoppers or little marsupial mouse. And they're an omnivorous animal, so they're quite happy to chew on a flower. But I wish he could eat some of these flies. Would you consider eating some flies for me, mate? Eh? You beautiful little thing, aren't you? And we might let you go back home up on top of your log, okay? Come on, you scurry off. Go on, off you go. You scurry up the tree. Come on. Come on. You scurry. Go. Go. Scurry. Scurry up the log. Now go. Go, run. Good boy. A male emu keeps a watchful eye on his young chicks as they seek a way through a fence. I know a few tricks that we can do with emus, so come with me. I think you'll find this very interesting. Aboriginals have taught me the ways of native animals, especially about the territorial behaviour of the emu. I pretend to be finding seeds. This makes him very angry. How dare I take seeds from his patch of Australian red dirt? It's very much a pecking order when it comes to emus. Look at at that, I got smashed. Couple of good pecks. They're fascinating animals. The emu are so closely related to dinosaurs, and you can see that with their feet and the way they walk. And they can travel up to 60 kilometres an hour. I think they're fantastic animals. But that one got me. The outback rivers snake their way across the dry, dusty plains. But these precious waterways are infected with pests. Look at that. Shocking introduced feral carp are directly responsible for the demise of native fish. They drastically lower oxygen levels and stir up the mud that damages the gills of native fish. Bow fishing gives me a chance to show you the size of these feral fish. These animals have caused huge problems in the outback. They're an absolute dreadful pest. The only thing they're good for is fertiliser. And that's about all. Canoeing allows me to search the riverbanks for yet another animal encounter. Now, Australia has some amazing spiders. Some of them pack a lethal venom, especially this one here, which is a giant bird-eating spider. Now, I have to be very, very careful handling this creature because they have fangs longer than a death adder, over 10 millimetres long. And the venom in this spider can kill a fully grown dingo or a bush cat in less than half an hour. So I don't want the venom of this spider in my circulation. Now I'm going to try and get him to walk onto my hand. Come on. Oh, and be careful of this bloke. Look at the size of this animal. They pounce on their prey. They'll eat anything from little marsupial mice to lizards. Oh, don't get upset. To lizards and even ground nesting birds. Look at this enormous creature. Now I might put you back down. We'll let you resume your morning hunt. Now we drive into Australia's heartland, the home of thorny devils and parenti monitors and strange rock formations. Around 2,000 million years ago, molten magma forced its way up from deep within the Earth's crust. It slowly cooled in a layer of sandstone. Over time, wind and water eroded away the sandstone and the soft clays, leaving behind these massive granite boulders. That's the magic of this old country, Australia, such a huge diversity of environments. An old Aboriginal friend, Day Day, helps me in my search for desert goanna. I've got him by the tail. Are you worried about him?
I worry about his head.
You're worried about his head?
Yeah, I got to grab him before he might bit him somebody.
Do you reckon he might bite?
Yeah, he bite, yeah.
Will he be cranky when I pull him out?
Yeah, when he get cranky and he'll bite somebody.
He'll be cranky and he'll bite somebody. Yeah. Is he going to bite me or bite you?
Well, he might bite you.
He might bite me.
Bite me too.
He might. There he is.
That's him.
Nothing like spending time with your old Aboriginal mate looking for goannas. Isn't he beautiful, eh?
Baby boy.
He's a baby boy, a little one.
Baby boy.
Look at his lovely yellow tummy. Isn't he beautiful? Now, when you were a young one, you used to eat these, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I eat them today too.
You eat them today too?
Yeah, today too.
Will you let me let this one go?
I let him go.
Yeah.
Let him grow up.
Yeah, let him grow up.
Yeah, let him grow up.
He might become a daddy, huh? Isn't he gorgeous? These little monitors, they dig quite lengthy burrows in this red clay. And they'll hunt anything from creatures that run around on the ground, terrestrial, especially ground nesting birds. And they'll get up a tree and take a bat. And they'll even eat snakes. These goannas will eat snakes. Have you seen them eat a snake?
Oh yeah, I seen. Yes, he eat snake.
Yeah, they eat snakes. So they're big hunters of snakes. And if you look carefully, you can see they've got a forked tongue, very similar to a snake, which gives them stereo scent so they can locate their prey very easily. And they've got very, very sharp claws. And look at the wonderful patterns on his back. I've seen Aboriginal painting very similar to these spots and these designs.
Yeah.
They're beautiful, aren't they? If I let him go, will he bite you?
Yeah. No, nothing. He'll run away.
He'll run away.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to put him in your pocket?
No?
No?
I'd want him in my pocket.
All right, we'll let this little bloke go. And go. A sandstone cave is a good place to end a wonderful day. Time to recharge the spirits and ponder the adventures to come. Journey continues to a huge nature reserve called El Cristo, situated in the Kimberley of Western Australia. The stony plateaus and steep gorges represent some of the oldest formations on Earth. These are salmon-banded archerfish. What they do is they take water in their mouth and then they shoot a column of water and they'll knock butterflies and grasshoppers off the branches that overhang this river. They actually shoot the column of water with incredible accuracy. Now I've got a bottle top here and you watch what they do. Yeah, look at that. They can shoot the bottle top 5 feet above the surface of the water. Gee, that was a barramundi. Oh, got me in the face that time. Once they knock a bug into the water, it's very easy for them to swallow it. A saltwater crocodile arrives. Play with archerfish is now no longer an option. Men came here many thousands of years ago and left their mark on the escarpment walls. Up here are the Wandjina Aboriginal paintings, many hundreds of years old. The images are believed to represent spirit ancestors that came from the sky and control the elements. The strange streaks that radiate around the heads represents lightning. This is such a precious, sacred site. It's important that I don't touch these images because the oil in my skin can seriously damage them. The best spot. Another cave. And here we are. Rock art that was painted by people that lived in the Kimberley Ranges thousands of years ago. We have no knowledge about those people or the meaning of the rock art they painted. Just amazing. Over time, vast volumes of water have eroded and shaped this country. This is a lost world, a true untouched paradise. Exploring the gullies high up in the Kimberley Plateau, we find freshwater springs bubbling out of the rocks. Rainwater that fell to the Kimberley Plateau decades ago percolated its way down through the sandstone and clays to the subterranean hot zones. Over time, with pressure and heat, the water was forced up to the surface to bubble out of the rocks here at Zebedee Springs in the Kimberley. What I'm here to do is to check this water to see if there are man-made pollutants like phosphates. They don't even have to look at the different coloured vials to see that there is no phosphates in this water. This is pure, unpolluted water. Undisturbed, pristine environments allow the survival of pythons of remarkable size. Come on, mate, come on. Ooh, look at the size of this. It's a jungle python. Come on, mate. Come on. Come on. Oh. Come on. Got him. Oh, look at this. This is a jungle python. And it is a very, very big snake. It'd be over 3 metres long. It's over 10 feet. And it is a major predator, come on, of the Kimberley. These animals, they attack their prey by grabbing hold of them with those powerful jaws. And inside that mouth is over 100 backward facing teeth. So once they grab hold of a bird, a possum, a bat or a bush rat, it's impossible for that animal to escape. And then they throw a coil around their prey and literally crush it to death. These are such wonderful animals. They locate their prey with excellent eyesight, and with that forked tongue they've got stereo scent, and they can even pick up the heat, the body heat of animals like possums. So they're amazing predators, and this is a big specimen. And what a perfect environment for a jungle python. These pandanus and these maidenhair ferns, big tall bloodwoods and paperbark trees, and warm 32-degree water. I think it's time to let you go. Just uncoil yourself from me. And there you are. You're free. Our amazing adventure continues as we travel northwards to Cape York in tropical Queensland. We experience a land of extreme contrasts. From rugged mountains with abundant rivers to dry woodlands that are subject to lightning fires. We have finally arrived at Strathburn Station, one of the most remote wilderness regions of Australia. Look at me. Oh. I'll try and get that head before it gets me. Massive. Oh mate. There he is. Oh my God. What a monster. Look at that. A huge yellow spotted monitor. Just an incredible predator that lives up here on Cape York Peninsula. These amazing animals are so powerful. They have all the tools and weapons to hunt a large diversity of prey. With the flat tail, they can swim like a crocodile. With those sharp talons, they can tear open a nest or climb a tree and catch things like ring-tailed possums or birds. On the ground, those muscly legs allow these big yellow spotted monitors to chase down a snake or other lizards, or even a very small wallaby. These are amazing predators. Awesome eyesight, and with that forked tongue, they can pick up stereo scent. These creatures are also venomous. In the bottom jaw, there's a basic venom gland, and they chew the venom in. They have everything going for them, these beautiful creatures. Now we might let this one go. But what I might do is show you how clever the yellow spotted monitor is at swimming. We'll take him down to the creek and we'll ask you to swim for us, okay? Will you do that? He'll do it. Like all monitors, this fella has no problem swimming. Many of the billabongs here are home to the freshwater crocodile. See that long, narrow snout filled with those needle-sharp teeth? They use those jaws to snap sideways very fast onto fish. So up here in Cape York, they'll feed on barramundi and Saratoga. They're also quite happy to take crayfish, and if a bird lands on the surface too close, they can snap a bird very fast as well. These little crocodiles lay their eggs up on the sandbank, and that's a problem for them because the feral pigs dig up the eggs and prey upon them. The other main worry with these beautiful crocodiles is if they eat cane toads, because they have no immunity to the toxic venom in cane toads. But they're just such magnificent creatures. Look at this long tail. Sadly, Cape York is a haven for countless numbers of feral pigs. Their wallowing and ploughing up the banks causes erosion and the spread of weeds. Being omnivorous, they eat everything, from ground nesting birds and lizards to ripping up the reeds in the billabongs. Pigs can totally destroy wetland environments and cause the demise of a huge variety of native animals. Oh, you're in a mess, aren't you, eh? You're in a mess. One of the problems at the end of the dry season is a lot of the water holes just become bogs and get really, really muddy around the outside. And when the cattle come down to try and get a drink, they get stuck in the mud like this poor bugger. So what we'll do is we'll put a bit of strapping around its neck and try and drag it out with a winch. But if it's been here for a few days, it's really dehydrated and very weak, it might not survive. But we'll give it our best shot. All right, we'll give it our best shot. All right, we're coming back for you. I'm happy to see that, looking at this muzzle and the nose, she hasn't sucked up all the mud, so she doesn't have lungs full of mud. So she'll get her breath back, and she's still a bit feisty, and she'll be all right. All right? Nothing wrong with you, eh? Whoop! Gotcha! Oh, look at you. This is a beautiful frill-neck lizard. Magnificent creature. What they do is they inflate that frill to make themselves look bigger and more ferocious than they really are. We don't often encounter these creatures because they get up high in the canopies, chasing birds, and they love nutritious eggs too. Arboreal by nature. They climb a tree so fast with those sharp little claws. Look at him. What a magnificent creature. The frill-neck lizard. A true native Australian. Aren't you beautiful? Hello. You got sharp little claws. The Strathbourne billabongs are a haven for freshwater crayfish or yabbies. But setting traps is a dangerous task. We never know if a saltwater crocodile has taken up residence. Using traditional methods to light a campfire, I soon have some delicious yabbies to end the long day. Oh, these look delicious. Nice big red claw. Sitting here around the old billabong, surrounded by the wilderness of Cape York. And having a feed of delicious red claw yabby. Life doesn't get much better than in the Australian outback. To climax our Australian journey together, we travel the Great Barrier Reef. Here we hope to encounter marine giants, massive fish with an enormous mouth, monsters that can even change colour. And if we're very lucky, I may achieve something special for you. I hope to dance with the devil of the deep. The Great Barrier Reef is home to an awesome variety of life. I'm surrounded by a school of big-eye trevally, their scales flashing silver in my lights. Tiny baitfish form living clouds of life. In this swirling mass of tiny fish, the giant moray waits. He will ambush any large fish that comes within striking distance. And nothing can escape his powerful jaws. Fish come in all colours and patterns. Scorpion fish have deadly spines to deter predators. Others, like the puffer, swallow water and blow themselves up to ridiculous size. Fish cannot swallow football-sized puffer fish. Marine serpents here too. Olive sea snakes with paddle-shaped tails. Handling these snakes requires an extremely gentle touch because olive sea snakes have venom 10 times more toxic than the Indian cobra. You can see the snake is flicking out its forked tongue, smelling the water around it, probably wondering what creature I am. But thankfully, he is not alarmed. Green turtles are everywhere. Some are small juveniles, and others huge, adults weighing in excess of 100 kilograms or more. Adult green turtles feed on seagrasses and algae and use their paddle-shaped flippers to swim effortlessly. We encounter a monster turtle, a loggerhead. This old mariner will swim massive distances in his long life, travelling back and forth from feeding grounds to nesting and mating sites. Peeping from behind a coral head is a giant cod. These huge predators can swallow even a giant trevally in a single gulp. We're joined by two more giant cod. Both are ghost white, blending perfectly with the sand. One cod is so big, when he passes between me and the camera, I am hidden from view. We descend down a coral wall that is decorated in magnificent Gorgonian coral fans, each with hundreds of tiny polyps that trap planktonic food in the currents. Deeper and deeper we descend into the abyss. Yet another green turtle is encountered. How these marine reptiles can hold their breath for so long is a mystery. In a dark cave, we encounter a monster. A huge Queensland groper, This is the largest I have ever seen. His scarred old face tells a story of countless battles. My air is now dangerously low. It's time to leave the old giant in his cave. Back in the early 1800s, the English sailing ships sailed past the Great Barrier Reef on their way to the Spice Islands in the north. Sometimes the superstitious sailors on board would see terrifying creatures following their boats in the strong currents. Sea monsters with strange wings over 5 metres wide and a gaping mouth that could easily swallow a sailor's head or shoulders in a single gulp. They call these animals devilfish. To find the devilfish, we venture offshore. Here, sailing ships sometimes tear open their hulls on the coral bomboras. But shipwrecks make for perfect marine habitats. A huge shape comes towards me from the depths, swirling around me like some alien eagle. It is Manta barostris. Mantas can be massive, sometimes exceeding 300 kilograms in weight. They use the cephalic lobes to channel tiny fish and plankton into their enormous mouth. Filtering tissues trap the food, and the water is then expelled from the enormous gills on the underside of the body. The amazing patterns on their backs and the spots on their bellies are as unique as our fingerprints. Mantas are highly evolved, intelligent creatures. A huge black manta appears, swirling around and showing off his enormous body and swimming talents for our cameras. More and more mantas arrive. Some hover behind coral heads, content to just watch me. I promised you I would dance with the devil. Now is my chance. It's time now to end our amazing Wild Australia journey. We ride our cruisers through the mountains to an outback pub with Christy Cox, singing country and the company of a few good mates. I know life does not get much better than this.
Well, you told me when we met your love would last forevermore. And it took me by surprise when you up and walked right out the door. I've been suffering through this dry spell with no relief in sight. My sowing oats with another girl and raising Cain all night. The only way I'll make it through this drought is by breaking new ground. Well, the only thing you left when you left me was no choice. I'm gonna plant my love in another field with no rocks beneath the soil. It's high time I was leaving this old town, start breaking new